Hey everybody, Christopher K. Smith. This video should last just about 10 minutes. I'm going to talk about the range band strategy for Thinkorswim. Taking a look at Thinkorswim here, the range bands indicator is one that I've been giving away for free from my website. And it's basically a universal trend following indicator. It can be applied to any stock, index, or ETF in any time frame. And it paints the bars blue when the item is in an uptrend, green when there's no trend, and red when the tradable is in a downtrend. So here's a 1-year daily chart of Amazon. You can see we had some pretty big moves to the upside. But you ask yourself, how would I have done had I traded the range band system against Amazon? And that's the cool thing you can do with strategies. There's another not very well-known feature of Thinkorswim that I've discovered recently. And you click on indicators, click over here in the strategies tab. I've coded a new strategy called range bands strategy. So we click that and add it. Click OK. You see how you would have done had you traded the indicator, traded the system against the underlying tradable and time frame. So taking a look at Amazon here, we had a long entry down here, a nice long uptrend. Then we kind of chopped around a little bit and went long again. So you see overall we had a pretty decent year with Amazon here, up as high as $2,900, and then recently went negative. So this is kind of what the strategy allows you to do is see how well you would have done had you followed the strategy against the tradable. So going back, let's look in a little more detail, some of the properties of it. You see that we have the length and the deviation. Those are used to calculate the range bands. Itself, you should leave those unchanged. And you have the number of shares that you're using in your simulation, and the commission, which is the value in points that you have to deduct. Actually, you add it to the price you bought at, and subtract it from the price you sell at to account for commissions. So I think with Thinkorswim, the average equity commission is $5, so I left that at 5, and the number of shares you're going to trade. Obviously, the more shares you trade, assuming that $5 commission stays the same, the lower point move it's going to take. Let's just assume here we're trading 1 share, and it's going to take $5 of movement to make up for that. So we do that, you can see that, again, the tradable went negative here recently. The reason why is these really broad swings here. For example, we went long at 1755 and didn't go short, didn't exit that long until 1492, almost 250 points below. So that's kind of the downside with range bands, is that there's the distance between the bands is more than 2 times the average true range. So it could take a lot of price movement before it changes direction on you. So how do you deal with that? Well, the cool thing here is you can change time frames. So let's say we change down to a 78-minute time frame. It's like an hour and 18 minutes. Now you see recently the system did pretty well, and you were able to change directions with much smaller amounts of price movement. For example, we went short over here at 1602. We covered the short with this big bar here at 1722, almost 100 points later. Then we went long here at 1731 and closed that long at 1711. So you see the distance at lower time frames, distance that prices have to move to change direction are much lower. So the thing about trend following in general is a very well researched aspect of technical trading, and it works when you have big price moves like we've had recently. It doesn't work when you have long periods of sideways price action where prices sort of slosh back and forth. And if you look at this here, for example, in Amazon, let's look at like a daily, let's go back to the daily chart. We can see that we had, well, actually Amazon's probably not a good example, but basically the bottom line is you don't want to use range bands strictly by itself as a trading system. You want to use it to confirm whatever other things you're looking at. For example, for Amazon, going back to the daily chart, I recently went long here for a couple reasons. One is because we returned all the way to the value that we were in early 2017. We've sold all the way back to that same level, about 1,300. In other words, it's given back all of its gains for the year, yet look at the earnings. I mean, the earnings are up, so it's discounted all this positive fundamentals that we've had. Number 2, we had a large range bar here. This was this 1,000-point Dow day we had, 1,100-point Dow day we had last Wednesday. So we had a range expansion where it exceeded the range of the prior bar, and also we went positive on the range bands in the 78-minute time frame, and that was a profitable area. So yeah, you want to use this basically in combination with any other trading methods you have, and I find it very helpful for figuring out areas of profitability. Range bands generally, if you apply it to other tradables, it doesn't necessarily work well. It doesn't work well against the QQQs, Facebook, Goldman Sachs. It did well just because of some good short trades here. Netflix, it did pretty well all year in a 70, or let me see, let's go to a daily. It did pretty well over 1 year on a daily basis, so very profitable in Netflix. So choose your tradable, choose your time frame, choose your position size, and make sure you can tolerate whatever losses the system is going to throw your way, because it invariably will. But yeah, use it successfully. Hope you have a good 2019. Use it in good health. And by the way, you can get it up here in the FIB Tools sell store, fibtools.sells.com, for free, no charge, along with the other range bands indicator with the stop dots, etc. Up at fibtools.sells.com. You can also get the range bands trend dashboard, the Fib lines full indicator for Thinkorswim for $99. That's the only thing I charge for. That's the Fib lines, which shows you hidden areas of support and resistance. My competition sells this for $1,000. I give it to you only $99 for 1 year. So that basically looks like this. Oops. Looks like this. There's your Fib lines indicator against Netflix. Look at it against the Dow Mini Futures YM, for example. It had some good price action there recently. Okay, so that's range bands. That's the range band strategy, and you can get the Fib lines. You can get that, Fib lines, and range bands trend dashboard all up on the FIB Tools sell store. So thanks very much for watching, and have a great day, and have a very successful and profitable 2019.